Hey everyone, so welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly what time you should be posting your YouTube videos. Now the great news is that YouTube actually makes this very simple for us. So I'll be taking you guys through YouTube Studio, showing you where to actually find this, as well as how to interpret this data. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I'm here in the analytics section of my YouTube channel. And what you're going to want to do is come here to audience. This is where all the important information about who your audience is, how many subscribers you're getting, as well as what time to actually post your content is, right? So it all lives right here. So immediately what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down here, and this is the section of the YouTube Studio that is going to tell you when your viewers are actually on YouTube and actively watching. So these are all in your local time. So for me, this is going to be Pacific Standard Time, GMT 7, and this is the data for the last 28 days. So if I do want to actually change that, I can come up here, select a different time frame, and it's also going to update that information. But we'll just focus on the last 28 days because that's what I recommend doing. So as you can see from this chart, the dark areas are actually going to be where little of your viewers are on YouTube, and the light bars are going to be when a lot of your viewers are on YouTube. Now I do think this changes depending on if you're on light or dark mode. Since I am on dark mode for YouTube Studio, as you guys can see, the background is black, then it's going to have the light as active and then dark as inactive. If you guys are on the light mode where the background is white, it's going to be the opposite, right? So the dark bars are going to be when it's most active, and then the light bars are going to be when it's less active. So you can see for me, it starts to get a little bit more active starting around 5 a.m. every single day. This is 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It gets to its maximum at around 8, 9, and 10 a.m. You guys can see each of these bars is going to represent 1 hour, and then it starts to level off around noon. By around 2 p.m., there aren't as many people on YouTube actively watching my videos. And you guys can see this is pretty much the same for all 7 days of the week. Now, how do you actually interpret this data? So what I'll say is that you'll want to start posting your videos right when activity starts to get higher. And you guys can see, let's say for Sunday, it says that most of my viewers are on from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. And it starts to pick up a few hours before that, around 5 a.m. So what I recommend doing is post your videos as activity is picking up. Sometimes you'll hear different things saying, hey, you should post like 2 or 3 hours before the max activity. Or some people will also say post right when you start seeing the most activity, right? So you'll get varying answers in this case from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. What I like to say is it's always better to post as activity is getting higher. So in this case, I'll actually want to post at about 5 a.m. That's going to give the video some time to propagate. It's going to give it some time to, process and all that stuff. And by the time your viewers actually log on at around, in this case, 7 or 8 a.m., they'll see that video and they'll be more likely to click on it. So everyone watching this video, your information on your YouTube Studio is going to be a little bit different. Now, we'll say that it actually doesn't really matter what time you post your video in the long term. Even YouTube says it right here. Publish time is not known to directly affect the long-term performance of a video. And you guys can actually click on this to learn more. But yeah, it's true. It doesn't really matter exactly what time you post. But what I will say is if you have this information, which everyone has, but not everyone knows how to analyze it, you may as well post at an optimal time, which is going to be when the activity is starting to pick up. Not doing so won't really hurt your video for the most part in the long term. But I like to always say you want to find every chance you get to beat the algorithm or, get your video out to as many people as possible. And if we can maximize the number of views we get in the first few hours of our video, we might as well, right? Why not? But yeah, it's true. In the long term, it's not going to matter that much. As long as it's a good video and it starts ranking for search, then it will perform well in the long term. But just that slight little boost we get at the beginning from posting at the right optimal time, we might as well do that since we do have the data. Now, generally, depending on where you guys live, as well as where your top geographies are, that's of course going to affect what time, people are watching your videos. So looking at this data, you might think, why are people starting to watch so early at 5 or 6 a.m.? Well, the thing is, I'm on the West Coast and the East Coast is actually 3 hours ahead of us. So when it's 5 a.m., it's 8 a.m. there. So that's sort of why it makes sense that the data is how it is. You guys can see that for this channel, about 29% of the audience is from the United States. So it does make sense why it's like this. Now, not only do you have this information right here, you also have this, which does require TubeBuddy. It's actually included in the free version of TubeBuddy, and I'll be linking that down below. So you can see from this, it's actually going to recommend what time you guys should actually, post your videos. They're saying if you want to post once a week, the best time is going to be Monday at 7 a.m. Pacific time, And then if you're posting daily, it's going to give us the optimal time based on whichever specific date. You can see that their algorithm is, pushing it a little bit later than I said originally. And yeah, it really could go both ways, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. I don't think it's going to matter that much. But in this case, my takeaway is that, hey, I'm going to be posting early in the morning. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll be putting links to all the resources we talked about in this video down below in the description. And yeah, I highly recommend you guys get at least the free version of TubeBuddy. Optimally, I'd get the paid version so that you can have access to A/B testing as well as bulk add/replace text. That's going to save you guys so many hours of time as well as optimize your channel to get the biggest, best click-through rate. But yeah, hopefully you guys found this video helpful. You guys can reference it anytime. And if you guys got some value out of it, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe for more content just like this. This whole channel is dedicated at giving you guys free guides and tutorials helping you to start your own business. Anyways, that's it for today. I'll see you in the next video.